2018 Audi TT Coupe Review. The good points of Audi TT Coupe: innovative, high-quality interior, great collection of engines, surprisingly practical boot, seriously fast TTRS. The bad points of Audi TT Coupe: not by far the most exciting to operate a vehicle. Some basic equipment costs extra. Overfirm ride on larger wheels. Pointless rear seats. The third-generation Audi TT Coupe, launched in 2014, offers quite a bit to live around if the success of the predecessors is everything to go by. The first two models were sales smash hits, but Audi's stuck to its winning formula, evolving the initial car's now iconic look and blending it, which consists of latest modern look. It's got a bit of stuff competition to discover off, though, on the BMW 2 Series and Porsche Cayman, on the Nissan 370Z and Toyota GT86. With high-performance models such as the TTS and TTRS, it appears to have this covered. The TTRS is virtually as fast, just as 108. Nevertheless, you can also get a shrewd 2.0 TDI diesel when you desire. All the bits that made the old TT so well received, head-turning looks, a high-quality interior, everyday usability and speedy performance, remain. As you move, the car altogether has been brought bang as much as date with the most up-to-date technology. Search used Audi TTs available. Sleek styling that's bang up to date. The TT's exterior styling mixes factors of the MK1 and MK2, and also at first glance it's unmistakably a TT. The wheelbase, the space between the front and back wheels, is continuing to grow slightly. It shares a platform with everything on the Volkswagen Golf on the seat Etica. Even so, the car's overall length continues to be same, making for super short front and back overhangs. The TT wears more modern-looking LED headlights and taillights with a few neat touches, including directional indicators that swipe through the tail lights in lieu of winked on and off. Many of these you'll be forced to pay extra for, though. The TT Coupe remains to be a 2+2, which has a pair of tiny seats in the rear window which can be best suited to kids only. Adults will definitely struggle to even get involved the seats, aside from sit comfortably inside them. However, the boot is surprisingly big, turning it into a more practical coupe than you could expect. Slick and modern interior. One of the TT's most appealing features is its modern, minimalist interior that's loaded with technology. There's no central infotainment screen to die-cut of during other Audi models. Instead, it's all controlled via Audi's virtual cockpit, available for an option on a number of other models, that sits in preference to a traditional pair of dials. It's a 12.3-inch screen that's controlled via Audi's MMI rotary controller for the center console, or via buttons around the steering wheel. It takes a bit getting employed to, but once mastered it's fairly intuitive and pleasant to work with. The rest on the cabin is simple to make use of. The heating controls are housed inside the smart turbine-style air vents, and quality is top-notch as you'd expect on the company. Plenty of engine options. There's numerous engine options to power your TT, from 1.8 and 2.0 TFSI petrols along with a 2.0-litre TDI diesel in regular models, to some hotter 2.0-litre TFSI inside the TTS and fire-spitting 2.5-litre TFSI within the bonnet on the TTRS. Depending about the engine you end up picking, manual and S-tronic automatic gearboxes can be obtained, as they are the choice between front-wheel drive or quattro all-wheel drive. Hot Audi TTS and TTRS models. Bridging the gap between regular TT models as well as the top-of-the-range TTRS will be the TTS, powered using a 2.0-litre TFSI petrol engine producing 310 horsepower. Quattro all-wheel drive is standard, but buyers can pick between a 6-speed manual gearbox or possibly a 6-speed S-tronic dual-clutch automatic. The TTS is marked out by various exterior design details, for example a silver grille and door mirror caps, different alloy wheels and quad exhaust pipes at the rear from the car. Then there's the TTRS. It's powered using a howling 2.5-litre 5-cylinder TFSI petrol, efficient at blitzing from 0 to 62 miles per hour within 3.7 seconds, be going on to reach a 174 miles per hour top speed. You can thank 400 horsepower, 480 Newton meters of torque, a slick S-tronic transmission and quattro all-wheel drive for your. The verdict. The Audi TT is still equipped with a winning formula. It looks fantastic, the inside is high quality and great to waste time in, there's plenty of engine options and it's enjoyable to operate a vehicle. It's not cheap to obtain, especially when you're starting ticking boxes within the options list, however it holds its value well indeed and quality oozes through all parts in the car. Keen drivers will cherish the TTRS, even if it comes for a hefty premium within the rest with the range. But after you consider its supercar baiting performance, it really looks like the best value. We'd strive for either each 0.0-litre TDI or 2.0-litre TFSI in S-Line or Black Edition trim. They both be capable of mixed performance and practicality perfectly. 4 petrols then 1 diesel. All turbocharged, all punchy. Performance strong over the range. Making in the Audi TT engine is a selection of 4 petrol engines and another diesel. They range in power from 180 horsepower all the way around 400 horsepower. TFSI petrol engine range. Kicking off of the TT petrol range is often a 1.8-litre TFSI turbocharged unit producing 180 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. Spec this which has a 6-speed manual gearbox and it'll change from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.9 seconds and on to 149 miles per hour, even though the 7-speed S-tronic automatic will manage the sprint in 7.0 seconds flat. It too will go to reach 149 miles per hour, step nearly the 2.0 TFSI for the power boost to 230 horsepower, using a much more usable 370 Newton meters of torque. The 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint is covered in 6.0 seconds inside the manual, 5.9 seconds from the S-tronic and 5.3 seconds inside the S-tronic when designed with quattro all-wheel drive. All versions will reach a 155 miles per hour top speed. TTS provides more thrills. Powering the TTS is usually a 2.0-litre TFSI petrol with 310 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque. It'll alternate from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds having a manual gearbox and 4.6 seconds with the S-tronic. You can only understand car with quattro all-wheel drive to help you put down all the power. Top speed is electronically on a 155 miles per hour. TTTDI packs a punch and economy. For something slightly more sensible, there's the TT 2.0-litre TDI, producing 184 horsepower and 380 Newton meters for torque. There are several options to buyers though. There's the 2.0 TDI Ultra which can be front-wheel drive and comes having a 6-speed manual gearbox. This version will reach 62 miles per hour in 7.1 seconds from the standstill, be going on to 149 miles per hour at the very top end. If you would like an S-tronic gearbox on this engine, you'll get quattro added to as well. That means the 0 to 62 miles per hour time falls in order to 6.7 seconds, but top speed also falls to 145 miles per hour. It's a superb fit with the TT. There's some noticeable diesel growl after you put your foot down, even so the S-tronic gearbox never becomes flustered in the event you demand an excessive mount it, and quattro all-wheel drive helps handle the torque. It makes the TT a fantastic alternative to similar to a VW Golf GTD or BMW 120D as it's smooth, refined and perfect for long journeys. TTRS crowns the number with supercar performance. The real excitement within the TT range lies with all the TTRS. Under the bonnet lies a 5-cylinder 2.5-litre TFSI petrol producing 400 horsepower plus a not inconsiderable 480 Newton meters of torque. Unsurprisingly, Quattro all-wheel drive helps invest of this shove on top of the road, while a 7-speed S-tronic gearbox deals using the gear changes in your case, although paddles are available for more involvement. It'll rush to 62 miles per hour in only 3.7 seconds, and is on a 155 miles per hour at the pinnacle end. However, you'll be able to pay to obtain this limiter removed, unlocking a premier speed of 174 miles per hour, very predictable handling characteristics. Quattro all-wheel drive provides reassurance. Not exciting, but very capable. The TT is grippy, stable and easy. They are driving quickly or slowly. The brakes should have praise as they're powerful, progressive but not as grabby as you'll get in some other sporty coupes, as well as other Audi models. Overall, the driving experience remains safe and secure and predictable, or else as exciting just as one equivalent hot hatchback. You can cycle through different parameters with the power steering sensitivity and engine response while using drive select switch. This also controls power distribution in four-wheel drive Quattro models. In auto mode, the torque is shuffled to wherever it can give the best traction. When it is in dynamic mode, more power is sent towards the rear axle to make the automobile feel more agile. In efficiency mode, the automobile becomes two-wheel drive most with the time to avoid wasting fuel unless extra traction is required. Even in the event you flick between drive modes, the steering isn't by far the most communicative. It's nicely weighted, but there's not much feedback coming through to your driver, so it's quite a bit less involving to push as a dedicated hot hatchback with driving thrills at its core. The quick TTS model is Quattro only and is particularly fitted with magnetically controlled adaptive dampers as standard. We drove the vehicle on track and it's incredibly grippy inside the dry. Even while using traction control turned off, it has enormous reserves of traction. Despite that, the TT's still not one of the most thrilling of cars to operate a vehicle. A decent hot hatch will probably be far more fun to push than even super quick TTS model. However, the TT remains very easy drive an automobile quickly and is usually a very flattering car to the majority drivers. Slick and chic interior design. Excellent driving position. Quality impressive all round. The TT marked a changing time Audi's home design, influencing a great many others to follow in their wake. It looks smart and, with many neat design details that contribute into a high-quality, modern feel throughout. The biggest thing in regards to the interior may be the virtual cockpit, searching for instrument cluster working with all functions you'd normally find about the dashboard and center console. It's controlled via Audi's familiar MMI rotary controller situated around the center console or buttons around the steering wheel. It'll take a bit time to have used for the system and determine where everything, but once you've tried on the extender a few times it'll all sense that second nature. It's an excellent system. Like every TT before, you will discover large round air vents through the center in the dashboard, but they also house searching for temperature watch out into their center. If you desire to adjust the environment temperature, you will not press buttons within the dash but touch the vent itself instead. It's this sort of neat solution that you just wonder why nobody is doing it before. As you'd expect, fit and handle is superb, along with the virtual cockpit layout means you can find fewer buttons and switches inside the cabin than any other time. One bad thing is that it's difficult for your passenger to determine much in the screen, rendering it tricky for them to assist with programming the sat-nav or choosing music as the driver is occupied, which wouldn't be the case having a conventional screen from the center from the dash. Visibility isn't as restricted as you would possibly expect, with lots of windows for the good view out in spite of the low driving position. It's easy to acquire comfy, too, which has a huge volume of adjustment from the seat and leader. TT's ride is for the firm side. It's less than uncomfortable though. Be careful with alloy wheel choice. Ride quality that's very much for the firm side has historically been a small weak point for that TT. Depending on spec, that's still the situation. Decide on a popular S-line model with larger alloy wheels. It is possible to get wheels around 20 inches in diameter, and you'll see the firmer suspension on bumpy UK roads. You will even specify 10mm lower suspension for S-Line models, but we can't help but recommend against carrying this out and stick with one with all the standard 18 or 19-inch alloy wheels for the best ride quality. Otherwise, the TT is often a comfortable car to accrue miles and might easily be used every single day. The seats don't just look fantastic but are comfy and have a variety of adjustment, from low slung to lofty, so drivers coming from all shapes and sizes is going to be able to acquire comfortable. All engines are quiet when they're not being worked hard, perhaps the diesel and hot TTS versions, possibly at motorway speeds the TT is commendably muted. 3 regular TT models, plus 2 performance trims. All come with lots of kit. In all, you will find 5 amounts of TT to get started with: Sport, S-Line, Black Edition, TTS and TTRS. Standard Audi TT equipment. The TT lineup kicks off while using Sport, coming while using following as standard: 18-inch alloy wheels, xenon headlights with LED daytime running lights, Audi Drive select drive modes, Alcantara, leather interior upholstery, air conditioning, virtual cockpit infotainment system with DAB radio, USB connectivity and Bluetooth phone connection, cruise control, rear parking sensors, keyless ignition, automatic lights and wipers. The TTS line models are only for extra style, together with the following added: 19-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights and dynamic rear indicators, optional S-line suspension, lowered by 10mm, gloss black radiator grille, S-line specific bumpers, side sills and rear diffuser, S-Line specific Alcantara and leather sports seats with contrast stitching and 4-way electric lumbar adjustment, brushed aluminium interior trim, black headlining. Black Edition models use S-Line, but add gloss black 19-inch alloy wheels, black styling pack, gloss black grille, window trim and exterior highlights with black door mirrors, privacy glass, Bang & Olufsen stereo upgrade. The TTS builds about the TT Sport with 19-inch alloy wheels, Audi magnetic ride, adaptive suspension, LED headlights, platinum grey exterior highlights, super sports seats trimmed in Napa leather, with heated front seats, plus leather armrests, center console trim and instrument panel, LED interior lighting package, Audi sound system, Audi active lane assist. There's additionally a TTS Black Edition, which adds precisely the same kit how the regular Black Edition model increases S-Line versions in the TT. The TTRS comes using a generous level of kit as standard that suits the rest from the TT range. Highlights just for this include 19-inch alloy wheels, RS braking mechanism, and sports suspension, RS exhaust system with oval tailpipes, RS body styling with larger rear inlets, honeycomb front grille, fixed rear wing and rear diffuser, Napa leather sports seats with Alcantara tire and gear lever, optional Audi TT accessories. There's a tremendous range of optional extras to add to your spec of your respective TT. Some of these can be found in packs, and some specified as individual options. Comfort and sound pack, Bang & Olufsen speakers, hill hold assist, back and front parking sensors and heated front seats. Technology pack, upgraded sat-nav system with online map updates, Audi Connect web connection, wireless phone charging. Everything else, and there's a good deal, might be added individually. Without listing these people, ones of particular note are Matrix LED headlights, adaptive lights that detect an oncoming car and adjust the high beam automatically, deluxe automatic air conditioning, climate control with digital displays inside the middle in the air vents, advanced key, keyless entry and ignition. LED interior lighting pack, extended LED interior lighting which lifts the cabin. Storage and luggage pack, storage nets on passenger footwell, front seat backrests and compartments under the front seats. Blind spot monitoring, reversing camera and traffic sign recognition are available through the driver assistance tech list. 4-star Euro NCAP rating. No EB means it doesn't get 5. Extra assistance tech available. The Audi TT scored 4 stars. Gets hotter was tested by Euro NCAP in 2015. Due towards the car not coming with autonomous emergency braking as standard, it isn't even available as a possible option. It cannot achieve a full 5-star rating. That doesn't mean it's unsafe, though. Parts of that structure are closely related for the Audi A3 and Volkswagen Golf, because both versions achieved 5 stars. Of plethora Audi TT safety systems remain available as options and will include Audi side assist, rear-mounted radar sensors to assist with lane changes. Traffic sign recognition via camera, displays important signs like speed limits within the instrument panel. It may also recognize temporary speed limits. Audi Presense, closes windows and pre-tensioned seatbelts when it thinks you're going to become involved in a very collision. Audi Active Lane Assist, issues a stern reminder or autonomously corrects the steering in the event the car's drifting out of that lane. ISOFIX child seat points are present inside the rear, however it'll be a battle to get bulky chairs inside and outside, much less with room to spare for the children's legs and feet. Plenty of room for 2 and luggage. 2 rear seats, but they also are tiny. Surprisingly practical coupe. Don't expect miracles from the TT, that is no family car regardless of the fact it, technically, has 4 seats. While there's an abundance of space in the beginning for the tallest occupants, surprisingly so, the small rear seats are simply suitable for youngsters or for stowing luggage. Even in case you do put kids from the back seats, fitting a kid seat could be considered a struggle due to your low roof line and not enough space for legs inside the back. Still, at least you will find 2 ISOFIX child seat points to securely fit a young child seat. The TT can be a compact car. It sits between 5-door versions with the A1 and A3 in size, but is slightly wider as opposed to A3. There's lots of glass area, so visibility is better than you may expect, and some may have trouble with being so low down gets hot it comes to maneuvering the automobile in tight spaces. Standard fit parking sensors help, but we'd pay extra for sensors at the front at the same time. Otherwise, it's a breeze car to gauge the size of, whilst the door mirrors are well shaped and well sized. To have a look at, may very well not think the TT is usually a particularly practical, and you might be surprised. The boot measures in at 305 litres, which can be decent taking into consideration the slinky bodywork. It's quite a bit less shallow as you would possibly expect, and access is not hard due into a big hatchback tailgate. Granted, you won't get any big boxes in there using the rear seats constantly in place, however when you fold them down, that they do easily and flatly, a good volume of extra space is freed up totaling 712 litres. There's easily enough space for a set of 2 big suitcases with this form, while using the seats set up 3 or 4 soft bags will squeeze in.